I posted an article like a couple of days ago, and it was kind of the top 5 Batman news that was going on this year, and we wanted to touch on the top 5 stories. I posted on our Facebook. We actually have covered a lot of it in the podcast, but I just wanted to do kind of a brief overview of that article. So I thought it was a really good article, and it had the top 5, and we'll kind of just talk about each one.
They are not surprising.
Not surprising at all. So let's move on to that. So actually, the number one news story of the year was the fact that they okayed a rated R version of The Killing Joke.
Yes, that is a big deal. That is a big deal.
And yeah,
it's very timely too, because when does that come out? Do we know yet?
We don't know.
I am waiting for that. A lot of people are waiting for it.
It's in production.
Yeah,
right now.
let's see it. But
Mark Hamill's going to be the voice.
Yes,
he's going to be voicing the Joker.
The Batman animated films have been going violent for quite some time.
Right,
I was surprised by some of the violence that I saw in particularly in Doom.
Right.
There's some violent sequences in the last Batman Superman crossover I saw.
There was
Apocalypse, Batman Superman Apocalypse.
I like that one. That's
it was good. But it was very violent.
It was violent.
And so they've been moving towards this, and of course, Killing Joke we know is a pretty brutal story. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. But it makes me feel good to know that they're going to give us this. They're not going to pull their punches.
They're not going to pull the punches. The only thing is like with that kind of material, like the material, I mean, it's not really a spoiler. Midway between, obviously, we all know that Batman or Joker kills. Or he doesn't kill, he shoots Barbara Gordon in the spine.
Yeah.
And we all know that story, but in The Killing Joke, it really goes into detail about how he takes her clothes off and takes photos of her as she's sitting in her own pool of blood. I mean, I can't imagine just being shot in the spine and being stuffed to suffer through that and and it was just he took pictures of it and I don't know. It was. When you're reading the comic book, it really hits home. But I guess what I'm trying to say is if you're gonna do an animated part, or if you're gonna do that in animation, you got to do it a certain way. You got to just kind of pay respect to that, because that's really just kind of a bad.
If you're gonna do Killing Joke, do Killing Joke, and that's probably why it's rated R. Because as Mike says, it's a real brutal.
Just do it with a certain Just do it with a certain kind of respect. You know what I'm saying? You really got to respect those scenes and really do it well, because that's a tough one. Because that's some tough material. I mean, there's the whole thing is that Joker wants to prove that on one bad day, one guy could turn insane. So later he does this to Barbara Gordon, and he puts Gordon through some
But they don't pay it off. They don't pay it off because ultimately it's about Batman, and the alleged outcome is that Batman. And they will argue this till the end of time. People will say he did kill him. Others will say he didn't. He does not break that covenant. Really, what it boils down to is
honestly, who's arguing that he killed him? I mean, everybody knows Batman doesn't kill.
It's what it boils down to is what would you have him do?
Well, that's the whole thing too. Is it's always been in the continuity.
Exactly.
Even now, it's in the canon. So
but if you are. The perfect example is at the end of Red Hood, or in that moment in Red Hood when
Under the Red Hood.
Under the Red Hood, when Jason says to him, I don't blame you.
Right.
But why is he still alive? At that moment, my wife turned to me. We were watching it. She turns to me. She says, "Why doesn't he kill him? Why doesn't he just put an end to him?"
Right.
Because he can't break that covenant. He can't break that rule. That's the only thing that separates them.
Well, that's what kind of makes him who he is. Is that kind of stern, the kind of that morality. You know what I'm saying? That ironclad morality.
What I understood in that moment was that there were people who are fans of Batman, who are not as I won't say they're not as invested. I would say maybe they're not as kindred with his whole doctrine. And therefore, they will ask that question, and they do. I've had a lot of people say, this doesn't make any sense. Just kill the guy. Just get it over with.
Right.
Just to save the world. It's for the greater good. No, but you see, that's crossing the line.
Right. Well, you know what? Well, that's a big thing, and I'm really excited to see what they do. And Mark Hamill is going to be the voice of the Joker, and we're still waiting to see who the Batman is. I'm hoping it's Kevin Conroy, but we'll see. We'll see. That'll just be too perfect.
Number two.
Yeah, number two. What's number two?
The Dawn of Justice teaser trailer. The very famous "Do you bleed?"
Oh, the Comic-Con. The Comic-Con spoiler. Now, what did they show in that? If I remember correctly, they showed it was a really brief trailer, and that's when they showed Batman. He jumps on a building, grapples away.
Yeah,
and they almost gets shot with a laser.
As I recall, they really only had they're pulling in on Metropolis.
Okay.
You hear the voices of the politicians debating the vigilante, debating Superman, debating you can tell there's a controversy surrounding all of them, and ultimately they focus in on the Superman statue that has "False God" written on it.
Right.
And there's a couple scenes of Superman looking off in the distance. There's the one where
that was very Stalin-esque, wasn't it?
Yeah. very Stalin-esque and very very Jesus Christ imagery with the woman reaching out to him, floating in the sky. Yeah. But really, it's
the only image I know.
It boiled down to the Superman, boom, touches down in the middle of the street. We all read this, Frank Miller's version, and he says, "Tell me, do you bleed?"
You will.
And we all know at that moment he's using a voice modulator.
He is. I want to hear him say a lemon face, ooh, lion face, lemon face, ooh, lion face,
Oh my God! Just as long as South Boston doesn't come out. I want to hear Boston Southie comes out.
I want to hear any Southie. I want to hear any Southie.
Studios, I'm gonna burn that shit to the
Wayne
ground.
is not from Southie.
No, he is not.
He's from Gotham City. Gotham City is a fictional place, but it's not from Southie.
It's kind of like.
But hey, all those in Southie,
New York
it seems like a cool place.
Is it Chicago?
What?
Gotham City.
It's like closer to New York, I want to say.
Yeah, I want to say the same thing.
Well, I want to say because there was a certain point when Dick Grayson, Nightwing, was in New York. It was just after 1 year later.
Yeah.
And he was in New York for a while, and it was like a hop, skip, and a jump from Gotham City. So it wasn't. He was far, but not too far. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Number 3, the Suicide Squad trailer is leaked at Comic-Con. Or leaked from Comic-Con, which means that somebody has to walk into wherever they're showing it with their little smartphone camera and film that shit.
And they filmed that shit. And that was the one. What was it? That was the one with the.
Margot Robbie and
the Joker.
Yeah, the Joker. And what's interesting is whenever something like that happens, when it gets leaked, you can count on one thing. In another day, it will be released by the film company.
Right.
Because they can't let the people steal
Well, at that point, it's funny with social media nowadays. It's like people, you can instantly post that to YouTube. You can be like, film it and then post it. You know what I'm saying? Like instantly.
I want to say that the Batman Superman teaser was the same deal. It was at the same Comic-Con and it also got leaked.
Well, I was just actually thinking the same thing.
And boom, they released it. So thank you and screw you, all of you pirates out there leaking this stuff.
So what did you think about when you saw that trailer? You pretty excited when you saw that trailer at the moment?
The Batman Superman?
Yeah. Oh. No. The Suicide Squad trailer.
Yeah, actually I was, because it didn't have that reek of something that's just being done for the sake of cashing in on something. It seemed like a story that they're really wanting to tell.
It seemed authentic.
Authentic is a story they really want to tell about a certain type of individual that will be put in a position to do the right thing when they ultimately don't want to.
Right.
You know, they're bad guys and they'd rather do what they do for whatever reasons they do.
Right.
But then there's the Joker, who's of course the wild card.
Right, as he always is.
He does things to just cause mayhem. So the idea that he could be
people just want to watch the world burn.
The idea that he could be united for any one cause, and you could trust him to follow through on that is asinine.
Well, he's never part of the team. Like I said, he's gonna be a part of. I bet we'll see how big of a party he plays. But it's been so big, like you have to put him in there.
You have to. And, I see the predictable, of course, because this is him. Is that he's going to play along and he's going to be all in for the team, but you just know that he's going to turn on everybody in the end.
Exactly.
And he's probably going to try to take everybody out. And why? Because it would be funny.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what he's all about.
Well, yeah, exactly. And ultimately, he's going to have some ulterior motive, and he's probably just going to be trying to get under Margot Robbie's skin. And who knows if it takes place like after it? Is she Harley Quinn after that? Or is this that point where
Quinn after? No, I think she's Harley Quinn for this, and then we're gonna get little flashbacks of how she became that way.
Margot Robbie.
I wouldn't be surprised if the writers have made it that she's blocked it out.
Right.
He's got some kind of
hold on her. Well, he always kind of has some. She's in the comic book.
The torture that he put on her.
She's a doctor.
Yes.
She's Dr.
The
Quinn.
psychological torture that he put on her to make her into Harley Quinn. I have to wonder if she has not blocked out the pain part of it.
Well, right, and like Margot Robbie, I really like Margot. I haven't really seen too much of her.
I haven't really seen too much of her work.
I apparently she was in The Wolf of Wall Street. That's how she really kind of like made her mark. I haven't seen either. Yeah. And but most recently I watched The Big Short, which I was telling you about, the new movie by Adam McKay with about the whole housing market fall. And like in 2008, and it has like Christian Bale and Steve Carell, and it has Ryan Gosling, and she has a cameo in that because it's such complicated material. It's really Adam McKay does a smart thing where he kind of breaks the fourth wall. Yeah. Which Shakespeare did a lot. He breaks the fourth wall, and actually did a lot in. If you watch Deadwood, Kevin Spacey does it all the time, and I love that part. I know, and I love that part of it. So break the wall, and like they'll be like, hey, well, you don't want to learn about CODs. Like, let's have Margot Robbie explain it in a jacuzzi, and Margot Robbie's just sitting there in a jacuzzi with like champagne in her glass, and she's like explaining about CODs, and at the end she's like, "Fuck off." And like,
fuck off.
And then somebody like serving her champagne. It was pretty good. It was a good cameo.
And you really like to be told to be fuck off by Margot Robbie.
I wouldn't mind walking in on that.
Especially in her accent, yeah.
I wouldn't mind walking in on that jacuzzi.
Yeah, no, not at all. As long as they don't run that stupid scene from that Assault on Arkham where she sleeps with Deadshot.
Oh yeah, you don't like that?
I hated that part. That was lame.
I thought you liked it.
Okay, that one part was kind of fun, but they can't do that in this movie.
Well, he honestly in the comic book, she hooked up a ditch on the comic book.
That's great, but did they have to make it into a big punchline?
No.
Okay.
No, they did not. Fair enough. All right, touche, sir. Touche.
All right. Number 4 is right into Jared Leto's tatted up Joker. The reveal of
the tatted up Joker with the pimp cane.
Yeah. He's not your. This ain't your daddy's Joker.
No.
This ain't your Cesar Romero.
He's got grills.
He's got grills. Which is, one of those things. I really wish that they'd find an actor who can do the smile. You got to make it into.
Well, he's got his own smile with grills.
Yeah, well.
He looks like he looks like the front of a car. He looks like a car bumper. He opens his mouth and a grin full of car. It's like a car bumper. But
I think we have yet to see the quintessential Joker.
This
but
is
only
like
because we lost Heath.
Again, there was like that very brief Batman and Robin. Frank Miller came back and tried to write All-Star Batman and Robin, and it was like 6 or 7 issues, and it was like it got delayed so bad, and eventually it got discontinued. But in that series, they had a Joker that was tattooed up, and he had a big tattoo of a snake on his back, and he was like the leader of a biker gang. So they kind of like. I wasn't a big fan of it, but it's like Jared Leto, he has grills and he has tattoos. And what does he have across his forehead?
He's got like, the forehead's all, like totally clean, and he's got the hair slicked back.
I do like the white skin, and the white skin looks awesome, honestly. And I really loved Heath Ledger's version of it. I like Christopher Nolan's how he just it was like war paint. Yeah. But I really like how the white skin just looks really cool, because I like the original Batman '89, and I like the white skin, and like his skin, and it's just his skin. If you just look at the skin and the hair, not past the tattoos, it looks pretty good.
You have to ask yourself, because they do the white skin. I mean, it's all white all the way across, and then the tattoos notwithstanding. If they're going to tell the story of how he got the white skin, how he got the green hair.
Well, I hope they honestly, I hope they don't, because it's going to be one of those things.
It'd be too broad, probably.
It'd be too broad, and it's like retelling like the origin of Bruce Wayne, like by Batman when he gets his parents killed, like they try to do in every movie. You don't need it.
It seems like most filmmakers, when they're treating the Joker too, are really kind of enamored of the whole multiple choice thing. When I think about my origins, I like to think of.
I like how they leave it ambiguous.
Yeah, they really have, and even Gotham stuck with that.
And honestly, his ambiguous backstory ties into his ambiguous personality, because on any given day, it could be a different Joker.
Yeah.
And that kind of ties into his backstory, because you don't quite know where he came from. So if you knew where he came from, he'd had a kind of a modus operandi. But when you leave that open, you can kind of formulate him and mold him in any kind of Joker you want.
Yeah,
and it all draws back to the Grant Morrison Arkham Asylum comic book, where it's all about the psyche of. It's all kind of painted. It's really, really beautiful artwork, and it's all about the psyche of Joker. And that's really Grant Morrison makes a big deal about how
and he's always trying to reinvent himself in some way.
Exactly.
He stays in the same vein, villainous vein.
Grant Morrison, I love Grant Morrison.
Yeah, he's a great writer. Multiversity. I strongly recommend that. I just started reading it. It's pretty amazing.
It's good.
Number 5 is the third. It's all Batman, Superman. The third trailer was the big reveal of Doomsday as the central force of antagonism.
Doomsday. Yeah. I guess apparently like a lot of people weren't a big fan of that. And so the studios kind of backtrack and saying like, oh, he's not the ultimate baddie. There's going to be somebody else.
Yes, I saw those articles too.
And it kind of came back, and it was like funny because like honestly, I liked it. They don't really. I feel like a Doomsday would be just enough to bring him together, and then when they get together, maybe at the end of the movie, like they have a Thanos type reveal where at the end it's like, well, there's another big villain, but he can be the main antagonist for that movie. Like it's okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was some kind of relationship because of Doomsday's significance to Superman overall.
Right.
It's probably some kind of God, here we go again. And maybe they're.
Well, obviously they're not going to go with that. Obviously he's not going to kill Superman.
But you see, the thought process could be that that's what we're leading to.
Right.
I don't know, because of what he's associated with in terms of his relationship with the Superman character.
Right.
Suddenly the movie's about Superman again.
Right.
Yeah, and that might be suddenly the reason why some people are down.
Well, that's why I think they're going to downplay that quite a bit. Like I think he's not going to even get. I think he's.
But in all of this, who gets overlooked completely?
Honestly, who?
Diana.
Oh, right.
She's so badass in that part. And all anybody wants to do is cut on Doomsday. She's got Zeus's shield. She's taking all of that energy. She's like, boom. She's a god in that moment, and she's hot. And she's there, and she's on screen, and she's not. It's not a quick flash. She's right there, and they have the clever little joke around her, and all anybody wants to talk about is how. Oh boy, it's Doomsday. What a drag.
Honestly, I thought they just had more of the crucial one. I thought it was more about how he looked. I thought that a lot of people didn't know how he looked. And honestly, like I said, I like
Skylander.
Fair enough. Yeah.
They didn't want him to look like Skylander, Troy.
Too many spikes, but I like how, honestly, like I hope they don't add anything. I'm not a big fan of the multi-villain thing they do in superhero movies. It's too much. Look at, like, Batman Returns kind of had a nice balance, but then he had like Spider-Man. Then on the opposite of that, like Spider-Man 3, we had like 18 million things going on.
If they tried to add anything more, I think that I don't know. I don't know that they wouldn't distract from the big central theme, which is of course the fact that they're fighting each other.
Right.
Yeah, they got to go round and round with that. No pun intended.
Well, I mean, I think that's honestly like it's going to be like that's going to be what brings them together.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I feel that very strongly. I said to a few people on the Facebook sites, those who are looking for a clear winner in this fight are going to be disappointed because that's not what it's about.
No, exactly, and it's really he's just going to cause a lot of destruction. They might actually see that like it's funny because you're actually focusing on the Superman and Doomsday. Like I'm talking about them as a team, like Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman coming together to fight Doomsday. It's not going to be like Superman's going to take on. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like. I don't think it's going to be like. I don't think they're going to. Honestly, I think they're going to try to stray far away from that death of Superman as possible because they want Superman to be in a lot more movies, and they don't want to like. You don't want to mention that now and then have to do it in a couple of movies. Do you want this Superman storyline? Do you want these Superman movies to go on for a long time?
Honestly, I think the reason why they brought him in is because he's being constructed from Kryptonian DNA. And the biggest problem with movies about Superman is how do you hurt the Man of Steel? Right. So you got to send somebody after him who's capable of hurting him. Right. That's why I think why they bring him.
He's essentially exactly. Which is like a good move, and honestly, it is smart because it'll bring him together.
And because then it'll fall to Batman to find a way to beat him.
And he will.
He will
because he's Batman.